So ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the first presentation. And the first presentation is called The Fear of Missing Out, or FOMO. Now, to do this presentation, we'd like to invite a gentleman by the name of Tony Weeresinghe, who's the founding Chief Executive Officer and the Chairman of Ustocktrade, LLC. Well, prior to founding Ustocktrade LLC in 2014, Mr. Weeresinghe served as Director Global Development and the Chief Executive Officer of Millennium IT of London Stock Exchange Group PLC. He founded Millennium Information Technologies in 1996 and served as its Chief Executive Officer until 2013, when he was appointed as the Chairman of Millennium Information Technologies Private Limited. During his tenure, Mr. Weeresinghe was responsible for guiding his team to build the world's fastest trading system, which executes a trade in under 60 microseconds. He also led the company to build world-class fintech products. In 2009, Millennium IT was bought by the London Stock Exchange Group, and Mr. Weeresinghe joined the London Stock Exchange Group and served on its executive committee overlooking the global development of LLC Group, while continuing to be the CEO of Millennium IT. Additionally, in the year 2000, Mr. Weeresinghe founded eChanneling, the first e-commerce company in Sri Lanka, which is the de facto portal for healthcare. Mr. Weeresinghe is currently the founding Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of Ustocktrade LLC. The company was founded with a dual social vision to lower the barriers of entry to stock trading with sophisticated yet affordable financial technology, and to financially support the Canaan Foundation, a non-profit organization whose mission is to build self-sustaining boarding schools and provide international standard education to the disadvantaged children in developing countries. So ladies and gentlemen, get ready for this one. Fear of Missing Out, or FOMO, presented by the founding CEO and Chairman of Ustocktrade LLC. Please welcome on stage Tony Weeresinghe.
Good evening. It's wonderful to be here. When I started my IT, I couldn't find 20, 30 people who was interested in IT. And now to find thousands involved, I feel greatly privileged to talk to all of you now. First of all, let me give a thanks Mobitel for inviting me to be here. I say thank you, Chairman, and the team for bringing me here. So what I want to talk to you about is fear of missing out. All of you are here is because of that reason. You don't want to miss the next technology. You don't want to miss the next greatest thing that happens in your era. So to start with, I basically want to share some thoughts that I experienced while doing this glorious companies and employing brilliant Sri Lankans. I must say, the guys who built the world's fastest trading system was people like you. There were no foreigners. There were no external people, but Sri Lankans like you. Just to give you the speed that it was developed, if you want to understand, a trade happens in 20 microseconds. But that didn't happen by being comfortable sitting where you are without venturing out. That didn't happen with people thinking it is impossible to do so. The differentiation of Millennium, why they are so popular, was one day I came and told them, I want to be the world's fastest trading system. All the technology gurus that was with me said it's impossible. Are you asking us to go faster than speed of light? But I told them, give me the best guys in every of your group. I put them into a room and said, you're not coming out till you build a system that trades in 100 microseconds. But they did come out. They were brilliant enough. They came out. So you cannot be comfortable if you don't venture out in what you're doing. The same thing, I think many of you are going to be entrepreneurs. Many of you want to be entrepreneurs. But sometimes you are very fearful that what if you fail? And that should go away. And you should come with an idea. And if many people tell you, no, that's not going to work. You're dreaming too much. It'll never happen. If it was me, then I know it's a wonderful idea because people are scared. So never give up on that idea. So what also happens is that if you want to be an entrepreneur in this country, you will say, I have a brilliant idea, but no one to give me money. Then you go behind angel investors, and then they listen to you, and they say, oh, you are not developed anything, so I'm happy to give you some money if you give me 50% of the company. So that has become a problem in Sri Lanka. So what I'm advising all of you is that you need to venture out and find a way to find some money to turn your ideas into a product and then look for venture capital, because then you can demand much more money for much less of your company. So I don't know whether you missed the next slide. Tell me how many of you invested in this. Sorry, it's gone. How many of you invested in Bitcoin? Show me your hands. I know it's illegal, but just put it up. Right. So I think this is another phenomenon that's happening in the world. Cryptocurrencies. Right? People were saying it'll never happen. It'll never come through. What is cryptocurrency? But suddenly when it started coming, people started jumping at it saying, we better get into this, otherwise we're going to miss out. So many of the people came when the price was very high. And then when it dropped, they lost a lot of money. So sometimes fear of missing out for the wrong reasons at the wrong time can also be a problem when you venture out. So now I'm going to talk to you about my next gig. You heard about what I've done. I started Millennium. I was the founder of eChanneling. And now my next thing is called Ustocktrade. So when I want to start Ustocktrade, being in the London Stock Exchange Group, meeting the biggest world financial people, I extended and saying, I want to be the world's first trading platform for retail investors without a broker. They said, are you crazy? You need the brokers. I said, no, I'm going to ask the largest regulator in the world, that's the SEC in the United States, to give me a license to be an exchange, like New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ. So we are the world's first alternative trading system. We are like New York, we are like NASDAQ, but the only thing that we don't do is we don't list companies, but we trade all the listed companies in the United States. So we wanted to be the first alternative trading system that's for retail investors. If you have any experience in trading, or if you have heard, You have to sign up with a broker. You have to pay them a commission, which they will trade on your behalf at the exchange. Or now with online trading, you have direct access, but you still have to go through the broker. So this is the world's first retail ATS. No brokers. You're a direct member, and you can trade. So what was my mission in doing Wall Street to Main Street? That was my tagline. And when President Obama used it, I said, I can sue you because that's my trademark. Right? So what we are trying to do is to bring Wall Street to people like you. My goal is to put money in your hands. And there is this fear of people of saying, you got to know finance to do stock trading. I say that's the old era. The new era is all numbers. You know to do the numbers. If you have a platform that when you know to buy at low and sell at high, even within a day, you could make money. So Ustocktrade goal is to democratize the wealth. And I have a nice story on this. If there is money in your hand, we can do away with that you relying on someone else to give you a job. You could start your own company. You could help someone else. Because now you have the opportunity to make money. It's like education. You got the education. How you use it depends on you. So now what Ustocktrade is giving you is a platform to access the world's biggest capital markets. In the US stock market, they trade $3 trillion a day. So you can't front run, you can't cheat, because you'll have to have trillions to do that if you want to do that. So Ustocktrade is going to give everyone an opportunity to trade, and it charges only you $1 for your trade. So it's cheaper than the Colombo stock market. If you have 100,000 rupees, and if you buy a Colombo Stock Exchange stock, you pay the broker 1,250 rupees. If you have 100,000 rupees and you put it in the US stock market, you pay Ustocktrade 160 rupees. So it is to make it affordable for people to trade. So what is the difference of Ustocktrade? Is it only the $1 trade? No, it gives you much more. It now gives you a platform that if you have $1,000, that you can even trade up to $1 million. And people say, how? I didn't have the money. But with Ustocktrade is the world's first same-day settlement or real-time settlement trading platform. If you buy a stock in Colombo Stock Exchange, you got to wait for 3 days to get your money. If you buy a stock in Ustocktrade and you sell it the same day, you have the money immediately. So now you can use that money to buy another stock, make some money, sell it again, use that money to buy another stock, sell that, make that money, and you can now do it many times. And I'm proud to say, just before I came here today, one of my colleagues, or some of the colleagues, said, Tony, you made the first dollar millionaire in Ustocktrade. And I said, what? Somebody had a profit of $1 million. And to see no other, it's someone like you. He's a university student. Came with $500 in June 2017, and in 2018, May, he has made very close to 900,000 US dollars profit. So that's the advantage of T+0, where you could buy and sell. And the good news is, you guys are the first to know that we are launching it in Sri Lanka to help Sri Lankans to invest tomorrow. So initially, what you need to do if you need to invest is you have what is called those days NRFC, RFC account, or a PFC account. If you have dollars, you open a PFC account. We partnered with Sampath Bank. You could open up a PFC account, register in Ustocktrade, and trade from your mobile or the web or even the TV. It supports any communication device. So I put this slide because all of you are guys in IT. So Ustocktrade is not just a trading application. It does clearing and settlement. It does a portfolio. It has a mobile app, web app. It does surveillance and compliance. It connects to other systems, and it's payment processing. We're trying to do the same thing in Sri Lanka, but in the US, you could go to your bank and say, transfer money, you get it immediately, and then you could start trading. In Sri Lanka also, we have been working with the banks to connect them so that you can transfer your money and trade immediately. Now, technology-wise, this is going to be like Google or Facebook, architecture for millions of clients. Because my goal is to democratize the wealth. So Sri Lanka is the first country out of the United States that we are going, but we're going to every country to help people put money in people's hands. The reason I'm doing is somebody says, why are you doing that? If you look at the world, the problems that we have today, there's no big rocket science. If you look at the wealth in the world, 1% owns 50% of the wealth in the world. Obviously, the other 99% is going to rebel. And if you look at one thing that they have in common is they own stocks of others or their own stock. Few names: Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, George Soros. You name any rich man, they have the stock. So if it works for them, it should work for the 99% as well. So the architecture is very sub-milliseconds. It's a fully fault-tolerant system. If one goes up, another will take away. And so many systems developed by these people. People in the world ask me, Tony, you must be having a big team of about 150 people that developed this team. Sometimes I'm shy to say I have 20 guys down in Sri Lanka who built all these systems. Why I put that slide is they also came from universities like you. They are no different. But giving them the opportunity, they are world beaters. No one has built a system like this ever in the world. And it was done by 20 Sri Lankans. So where are we going next? We're in technology. If you're interested, you can also join us. We're going to bring Alexa for trading. So now you don't even have to use your phone. You can basically talk and say, hey, what's the price of Apple? What does the analyst say about Apple? And then you can say, okay, then buy Apple for me. And the system will buy Apple. We are building support chatbots. Hereafter, no humans will be behind. You will basically say, I have this problem, what do I do? And it'll tell you what to do. So instant support, without waiting and hearing that phone ringing with the music and say, please hold on, wait for the next agent. You know, you keep holding and waiting. I don't know whether Mobitel does that as well, but right? But now you can get an instant reply, right? then the biggest problem, right? Today, if you have to open a bank account, the bank says you have to come and sit in front of them. KYC, know your client, we have to do this. But we're going with the new technology where you could take a selfie and have your passport, and we'll verify you and say you are true. Now log in. So we're going to do a lot of new things. And we have a few YouStockers here. You can talk to them. And then if you're interested, you're very welcome to join our family. One of my favorite things is the next slide. Ustocktrade was a company that was built for charity. It was not the other way around. Today, many charitable organizations, you build a company, you make profits, and you give a part of the profits. This was built the other way around. I first built the Canaan Foundation. The Canaan Foundation is a foundation that will build international boarding schools to help the underprivileged children in the world. And everyone told me, Tony, you need a war chest. You need so much of money to do this. And I decided saying, okay, if that's the case, to sustain this, let me build a commercial company that will sustain it. So when you trade in Ustocktrade and when you make money, and when you give the $1, you're helping an underprivileged child to be educated. And the good news is, the first school is also going to be in Sri Lanka, because I want to make sure as a Sri Lankan, I build the first school here as well. So I think my time is going to come up. So I want to summarize. And I think today is a great day to see with you and join with you as we are launching Ustocktrade in Sri Lanka. So to summarize, you have a platform now from tomorrow onwards as a Sri Lankan that you could engage in the world's largest stock market by paying $1, that's 160 rupees for trade. Then I want you all here to change your attitude and to come out from what you're doing, fear of missing out. And I tell people, let's get out of this crab story that people talk about Sri Lankans. That means when somebody is doing well, let's drag him down. Don't let him come out from it. But you, as brilliant guys, I always believe Sri Lankans are brilliant. When you start trading, if you have done some analysis of what you're trading, if you're brilliant in technology stocks, if you're brilliant in biotechnology stocks, help the other guy by letting them know what to buy and when to go. So support somebody who says, I don't know what to do. So that whole idea is let them also make money while you make money, so help them. Right? So that way, I am very confident, I say, this is a new era for Sri Lanka, and you're one of the first that's going to start it. We are not going to rely on any politician. I'm not saying they're bad, but we are not going to rely on them. We are going to make our own money. We have a platform now without relying, so that we can make Sri Lanka beautiful. It's not our beautiful beaches. It's not what the foreigners come and do. It is the people. So if we start helping each other, we will make this place beautiful, because we have so many things beautiful. And you, the generation, the millennials or whatever you call it, right, can make that change. The world has seen that change. And I'm urging all of you that this is a time that if you ever get on Ustocktrade, don't forget to help your next colleague, right? So I'll wind up by asking you to turn to the person next to you and say this: I stand with you. Right? So this is the hashtag that we're going to start taking it all over Sri Lanka, when you can do saying, I stand with you. Right? So, I don't want to make it an English language. Let's make it something interesting before we go. Right? So let's do something that will give you some extras as well. Right. So I is one clap. Stand is 2 claps. With is 3 claps. And you is the sign. So let's do it again. I stand with you. Louder. Let's get up. Stand with you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening.
What a remarkable presentation and what a remarkable personality with a wonderful service component as well in the midst of technology to the nation. Could you please put your hands together one more time for Mr. Tony Weeresinghe, founding CEO and chairman of YouStocktrade, LLC. We'd like to now take this opportunity in inviting the chairman of Sri Lanka Telecom and Mobitel, Mr. P.G. Weeresinghe Sirisena, on stage. Chairman, sir, we'd like to invite you on stage. Let's put our hands together and welcome our chairman on stage. And Mr. Sirisena will now present a token of appreciation to Mr. Tony Weeresinghe. Come on, people. Let's hear it one more time. Sri Lanka is definitely proud of people like you, Mr. Weeresinghe, and would like to wish you and your company all the very best. A big thank you to Chairman Mr. Weeresinghe Sirisena as well. Thank you very much.